Hi, I'm John from Just Whiskey. If you enjoy today's show, please hit like and subscribe. And if you'd like to become a Patreon of my channel, there's a link in the description below. Today we're going to talk about Octomore 7.4 and the neck pour. I'm a poet and I don't even know it. Octomore 7.4 is aged 7 years in virgin oak, and it comes in at 61.2%. It's potent. It came out in, I think, the year 2015. Right now we're in February of 2021. So it came out a while ago. I opened it up a little while ago, and I want to talk a little bit about not only the neck pour on the 7.4, but neck pours in relation to oxidation as the bottle goes down. So the Octomore 7.4, they made 12,000 bottles of this, and the ppm is 167. Octomore has their ppms are a little bit gimmicky or misleading. Their facts don't necessarily represent the whole truth, in my opinion. If you compare most Octomores to an Ardbeg or a Lefroy or a Ledaig 10, most recognized heavily peated Scotch whiskies come in anywhere at 30 to 50 ppms, roughly. So when I did the neck pour on this, it was an assault on the senses. Most, but not all, neck pours on bottles of various scotches, your brain and your palate have to adjust to the alcohol shock. Your brain is telling your palate and your body that, hey, this is poison, look out. And what I've experienced is some neck pours are very dramatic, and some aren't. Some neck pours, for sake of argument, represent pretty much how the bottle is as it goes down and oxidizes. And the bottle will change a little bit with oxidation, but back to the Octomore. Wow. It was an assault on the senses, and you get a wallop of wood, big time. And I thought it was a unique experience because you really get to taste what the new make spirit does in a virgin oak barrel for 7 years, and it's very woody, and it was just a real sharp bite. And I did add some water to it after, and it changed it a little bit, but it opened it up a little bit, but not dramatically, in my opinion. But I noticed that, like I said, and I think with most neck pours, but particularly this one here was really emphasized, it's telling your brain, hey, look out, you know, this, be careful because this is some strong stuff. So this, if I was to describe it, it has wood, wood, a little bit of medicinal. It's like barbecued wood, and it's very sticky and very syrupy. And the finish is biting and long. It hangs on your palate. It lets you know, okay, you just sucked on a wood popsicle. The retail on this, you know, I don't know if they're not readily available right now, but I'm sure you could probably find them. But the retail on this is anywhere between $200 and $250 US, and I do have a bottle of the 10.4, which is 3 years in virgin oak. I haven't opened that yet, but when I do, I'm going to do a head-to-head comparison on them. So what I think, my opinion on neck pours is, I think there's something to be celebrated and really savored, because every neck pour is unique to each individual bottle, and it only happens once. And in my opinion, on some bottles, that first neck pour and what you experience might just be the true spirit of the spirit. And then as the bottle oxidizes and the levels go down, most spirits tend to, I don't want to say mellow out a little bit, but become maybe a little bit more well-rounded, and people use phrases like they open up. But so far, I mean, I've gone down a little bit on this bottle. It's rather two-dimensional, in my opinion, and you're really getting the Octomore spirit-driven experience, and you're getting the 7 years virgin oak experience, and not a lot more than that, really. But I think it's a great experiment for someone to try, and I think most of the Octomores, the 0.4s, experiment with virgin wood or that type of thing. So then it got me thinking about, the neck pour with the Ledaig 10. The Ledaig 10 is from the Isle of Mull. It's from the Octomore distillery. Comes in at 46.3%. Unchill filtered and natural color. However, it does not state natural color on the label. But if you dig deep into their website, the Octomore website, if you click on shop as if you were to buy a bottle, it does boldly state on their website that the Ledaig 10 is both unchill filtered and natural colored. But the difference, what I noticed with the Ledaig 10, the neck pour is almost equivalent to the bottle going down and oxidizing. This is Ledaig 10 is my favorite Scotch to date. Retails anywhere between $52 to $60 in the United States. So in theory, you could buy 3 bottles of Ledaig 10 for the price of most Octomores. But on the Ledaig 10, again, right away, the neck pour is very welcoming, very complex. There's a lot going on in here, which we'll get into more of a review to that in some other show. So neck pores, it got me thinking, okay, we have in comparison to volume, compared to sample bottles or nips, right? This just happens to be a compass box one that I opened up, and this is a sample I bought, another Octomore sample here. And with the small bottles, from my experience, in my opinion, you don't get the full quote-unquote neck pour experience. Basically, you get, you can create one full dram with one of these, or what I like to do is split it up in 2 to 3 little pours. But I've never noticed, with the exception of a little bit with, your brain telling your palate, hey, there's some toxins going to be coming down your throat, with that little maybe anaphylactic shock thing that happens with your brain talking to your palate. I've never really noticed a big difference with a neck pour with the smaller bottles. So would I recommend Octomore 7.4? In my opinion, if it's within your means, if it's within your budget, I think an Octomore is a good experience. The 0.4 is quite different than the 1s, 2s, and the 3s, 0.1, 0.2, 0.3. But if you can afford it, specifically on this 7.4, and maybe, again, this is my first 0.4 that I've ever tried. I do have a 10.4, which we'll compare at some point. But it was a real experience, again, a good learning experience, I guess. So having said that, if you can afford it, it's worth the experiment, in my opinion. But would I buy this bottle again? Probably not. It's really, it leaves you with a semi-sweet but dry, astringent finish that's very long. And if you really want to know what virgin oak is, and what wood is, and what alcohol does with wood, then yes, I would recommend it. So that's it for today. If you enjoyed it, please hit like and subscribe, and click the little bell to be notified for my next video. And if you'd like to become a Patreon, I would really appreciate that, and the link is below in the description. So remember, it's just whiskey, folks. No matter how good it is and how much it costs, it's just whiskey. So hats off to you all, and take care.